Today, I am here in Deerfield Township near Mason, Ohio.
Prices continue to go up, interest rates are continuing to go up.
This flooring is from President Madison's house. They refurbished it and...
President Madison?
Yeah.
I am always blown away when I meet new salespeople, especially real estate agents, who post on Instagram once a month. And they say, well, that's not really me. Well, then the job isn't really you.
We do it in the spirit of going against the grain of the negative media, giving inspiring information, and having people walk away from our show with something of value.
You're seeing a disruption in both the real estate and the mortgage space.
A lot of people are just not willing to put in the work.
What video does is that it demands an emotional response.
You know what I love about the show? It's totally unscripted.
Welcome back to Your American Dream. I say your because these are stories for you and by you. We're sharing positive stories week by week and hoping to make a lasting impact on the nation. Today we have an incredible adventure with co-hosts Craig Sewing and Tawny Vargas. We're going to be exploring a property in Rancho Santa Fe with unprecedented entertainment value. Check it out.
We have an extra special surprise today because Jenna invited us out to Hacienda del Corazon.
House of the Heart.
Say it in Spanish. We're in San Diego.
Hacienda del Corazon.
So terrible.
I know, I sound so white. Which I know what it means, the house, the heart of the house, house of the heart. My understanding is when we find it, it's going to be a massive estate.
My understanding is we were supposed to take a right, like 6 rights ago, but that's okay.
Well, at least it's a nice neighborhood to be driving around.
Rancho Santa Fe. We got a horse arena.
That's right, Jenna did tell me that we're going to get the ride of our life here, so I don't even know what that means. I imagine, hey look, there's a horse sign.
We're getting close.
Yeah, that's got to mean something.
I can feel the love.
I can feel the whiskey bar.
Hacienda del Corazon. You could smell the whiskey. I think it is.
Is it?
I see roses.
I see a awesome estate. Wow. Wow. Mark here. I can't wait to go in.
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Game time. Ready to show me around?
I thought you were showing me around.
Let's go.
That is an unbelievable property in Rancho Santa Fe, California. At 12,000 square feet, we were probably going to get lost, but before we do, we had an amazing interview with New York's Ryan Serhant, also the star of Bravo's $1 Million Listing, and he dropped some incredible knowledge on us. So get a pen and paper and get ready to take some notes, only on The American Dream.
I'm Kara Kay with The American Dream. I get to meet with Ryan Serhant of $1 Million Listing. It's an exclusive interview and it's one you won't want to miss. Thank you again for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
With the wine in the wine room.
It couldn't be classier, in my opinion.
I know, it's very classy. I should have worn a tie.
So I know that you know the importance of TV and media. How important do you think that is in real estate today?
I think media is incredibly important in all businesses. I think any business that does anything for marketing in any way, shape, or form is now a media company. I mean, if you're a real estate brokerage like I am in New York City, we don't build the apartments, we don't build the buildings. We're not really real estate brokers, we're media brokers, right? I find different ways to market my properties via media. And so for me, television has been huge.
Sure, I think you, of all people, know the importance of getting exposure to listings, which is why you've gotten into TV and media. Now talk about the transition into how important it is to be social as well as on TV.
Yeah, I think that if you're a salesperson, right, which is what the book is for, is anybody who sells anything, you're really selling yourself, right? You're creating a relationship. You sometimes have to talk about the product. Sometimes you have to go into the price. Sometimes you have to go into the features. You need to have all that information, but that's what you need to do. That's the job, right? Everything else, especially through social media, especially through different forms of media, is building that relationship passively, right? This, you and I talking right now, is an active communication, building a relationship. Right. But I can hit so many more people through social,
right,
through YouTube, through LinkedIn articles. People talk about passive income all the time. For salespeople and for a lot of people in our generation, kind of the gig generation, we have passive relationships, our passive income, because those will turn into other sources of work for us down the line, and we just don't even know what they are.
If you are talking to a realtor who really wants to make it tomorrow and in the future, what advice would you give them?
I am always blown away when I meet new salespeople, especially real estate agents, who post on Instagram once a month, who aren't doing anything on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitter, and they say, well, that's not really me. Well, then the job isn't really you. You can't sit there and complain about not having business or sit there and complain about how the market's so tough if you're not actively doing things that are under your control. And what's under your control is putting out media. There's so many different places to absorb content these days, and so many real places to hit real people, to target them directly in your neighborhood, on your block, like that age group. It's all about consistency.
Are you ready to cheers to your book and all your success?
Sure.
Okay.
Are we drinking this?
Yeah, I mean,
are we chugging
I know
it?
nothing about wine.
So we're cheersing to the American Dream?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that again.
Okay.
So it's for real.
Okay,
Cheers.
cheers.
All right.
To the American Dream.
It doesn't get any better than Ryan Serhant. I mean, there is a reason why millions of people follow him every single week. We're lucky to have him on the show. And right now, we're gonna go back to Rancho Santa Fe and see what Craig and Tawny are up to. Check it out.
Now this is an estate. This is an entertainer's dream. Tawny, can I saddle up with you?
Sure.
In this full bar?
Have you ever seen an estate with its own saloon?
No, I've never been in a place like this. This flooring is from President Madison's house. They refurbished it and...
President Madison?
Yeah. So like from his house, this flooring from his house is now in this pad that we're sitting right now in front of this bar.
Well, you know, I think I'm feeling a little presidential.
Yeah?
So I think this calls for a shot.
Shot, cocktail, shot, right, let's do it. We wouldn't be doing this bar justice if we didn't like take a shot.
Well, I'm feeling classy, so how about the bad stuff?
All right, coming right up. 2 shots of bad stuff.
It's a classic.
Here I have your bad stuff. So I'm gonna pour us a couple shots, but I mean, could you imagine hosting a party here? This could serve hundreds of people.
And if this is your house, you're gonna be the most popular kid, and I promise you, everybody's gonna come party at your house.
Well, this is a great place to host them.
A few more of these, I think you'll be dancing on that stage over there.
I might get on that stage. Depends how we have to get along with the horse arena a little bit later, though.
Oh, yeah?
Check that out later. Do some things out there, have some fun.
Some things?
Yeah,
Let's have
do
some
things.
fun.
It ain't my first rodeo.
In the midst of the darkest night,
Hacienda del Corazon is a classic property in Rancho Santa Fe.
chains that were holding me. You sent your son down to set me free. Everything
This property was originally constructed around the same idea of lifestyle that Rancho Santa Fe was founded on, and that is a simpler and a slower lifestyle.
Every time I walk through this house, I see another detail that blows my mind, but my favorite part about the home is that there's this incredible indoor-outdoor space that is accessible in every room. Living in Southern California and having so many beautiful sunny days, it's wonderful to be able to have all of your doors and windows open.
Floors from President Madison in your own private saloon. These are the sorts of things that I didn't even know I wanted until I saw them. This is an amazing way to entertain, but right now we're gonna check out how they entertain in your city.
We're going to have some fun now talking with Vicki Sylvestre. She is a luxury real estate expert. She's with Keller Williams Homes International. Always great to talk to you, Vicki.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here again on American Dream.
And I love today you've brought one of our favorites, Ryan Kiefer. He is branch manager of Prime Lending. Always great to see you, Ryan.
Great to see you as well.
So you guys have come on today as a little bit of a powerhouse, and I love it's fall season. I absolutely love the fall. So many people love the fall, but people aren't always in love with buying in the fall. So what would be your advice then to tell somebody to just grab their pumpkin latte, get out the door, and let's go look at homes and buy a house this season?
Well, what I like to tell buyers this time of year is you're going to have a lot less competition. There's not going to be as many other buyers in the spring. There's a lot better deals right now. If you remember how low the inventory was this spring, there were so many times where we were in multiple offers, and so buyers that are looking at homes now really aren't going to feel that pressure. So and a lot of the inventory that's been repositioned, you can get a little bit more of a value on it, or any new listings that are going to come on, they're not going to be as much competition to be fighting with as it was earlier this year.
How are you advising them as well right now that this is a great time? Interest rates have been changing and growing instead of, waiting to the fall. What's in their advantage right now?
Yeah, great question. It is a great time to buy right now. Prices continue to go up. Interest rates are continuing to go up because, you might hear some talk here and there in the media about home appreciation decelerating. That doesn't mean prices have leveled off or are going backwards. It just means the rate of appreciation has maybe slowed down a little bit. It's sort of like doing 70 miles per hour in a car on the highway and slowing down to 45. Well, feels kind of slow at that point, but you're still moving forward. So prices are still going up. That's not going to change anytime soon because of those inventory issues that she talked about. Nationally, a little over 4 months worth of inventory. We've talked before how a normal or healthy market is about 5 or 6 months worth of inventory. In Cincinnati, the greater Cincinnati market, inventory is only 2.6 months. So until that gets straightened out, prices are going to continue to appreciate. It's still very much a seller's market from that standpoint. Now, this time of year can be a little more of a buyer's market, and that's why it is a good time to buy in the fall. In terms of interest rates, they have gone up quite a bit recently, and most forecasts have them going up even further this next year. For every increase of 0.75% that we see in rates, that will erode 10% of someone's purchasing power. So if right now you can afford to buy a house for $200,000 and rates go up another 0.75% next year, now you can only purchase a home for $180,000. It's quite a big difference.
That is a huge difference. So I'm glad that you've brought that to buyers' attention right now so that they can really think through, maybe take action now. What a great season to do that and have a present for the family for the holidays. And so, Vicki, I know that you happen to have a great property right now that could be ready for a family to have. Why don't you share that with us?
Well, I have a new listing in Liberty Township, Ohio. It's in a neighborhood called Carriage Hill, and it is at 5332 Carriage House Boulevard. It's an Arthur Rutenberg resale. It's just a couple years old. This home has the absolute most stunning, highest level finishes that you can find in a home. It's a ranch that has 3 bedrooms, all that are en suite, that have granite baths attached. Gorgeous wide plank hardwood flooring throughout the whole first floor. The lower level is a walkout. It's finished with a gorgeous bar and another bedroom down there with its own bathroom. It's absolutely stunning, and it's ready to move in. It shows just like a model home.
Oh, it sounds amazing. Thank you both for coming on today and talking about this great season of fall and how still it's time to empower the American dream in home ownership. Always good to talk to both of you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Amy.
Never been in a horse stable in California before. I've been in a lot of real estate, but nothing like this. This is cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I grew up in horses all my life. And this is honestly one of the coolest.
So Jenna is going to show us around, take us on some of these horses, but I'm kind of noticing there's not any here. This thing could hold 7 or 8 of them, I think.
Yeah, it could hold you. You could live here.
I could live here. All right, well, you're the one who grew up in a barn. So what about these horses? All right, and there she is. Hey, Jenna.
Hi. I know. I promised you guys horses, and there are no horses here today. But the good news is the owners took them down to the Del Mar racetrack, and we have the whole place to ourselves, and I have something super exciting planned. We have 400 horses up at the garage.
400 horses in the garage. All right. Let's check it out. All right.
So this is what I really wanted to show you, the toy garage.
What a garage, a lot of toys.
We have motorcycles, motorized bicycles,
Yep.
a classic Chevelle.
This is a beast. Now this is a nice car. I don't even want to touch it because I don't want to get my fingerprints on it.
But what you get to go out and have some fun with is this Razor.
So this is the horses.
This is it.
So I get to drive this?
Go have fun.
All right. Can I bring Tawny with me?
Of course.
Wow.
Go rip it
All
up.
right. Let's go cruising this beast. I'm gonna go grab Tawny and we're gonna go tear it up.
Now, remember, be gentle. The owners aren't here.
All right, got it. Giddy up. Let's do this.
If you would take all the posters on my walls growing up as a kid and put all the cars together, it would be that garage. I mean, that property is absolutely amazing and something that dreams are made of. But right now, we're gonna check out your agent in your city.
Hi everyone, I'm Melissa Orange from Sibsey Klein, and today I am here in Deerfield Township near Mason, Ohio. And I'm sure if you have driven down Mason Montgomery Road anytime recently, you have seen the ground being moved and some construction going on, but you might not be aware of what exactly is going on. So today I'm going to bring on Jim Flick, the Director of Economic Development for Deerfield Township, to give us the scoop. Okay, Jim, so I've had so many clients, friends ask us about what's going on, so I'm excited to bring you on here today to talk about it. So I know that this project is 2 phases, correct. So we're here by phase 1. Can you let's start with that.
Okay, sure. So over here is going to be 242 apartments that'll be spread across for 4 buildings. These will be 1 and 2 bedroom apartments,
Okay.
Some of which will have a den inside. There's going to be 2 dog parks as well as a pet spa.
Are they public dog parks or are they for the residents?
It is for the residents.
Okay.
And the reason that there is 2, since the apartments will be spread out over 4 buildings, they really wanted to provide convenience to the residents.
Okay, so in phase 1, I know there's also a medical facility that's
Right.
going in. Can you tell me, is that going to be a hospital, just a medical facility? What's the plans there?
Sure, it's a 27,000 square foot medical office for Mercy Health.
Okay.
It'll house primary and secondary practices, have 36 exam rooms, and will have a full array of services available to the residents.
When do you expect completion of phase 1?
I think probably late next year, maybe
Okay.
early 2020. Should
Okay.
definitely see residents hopefully moving in at that point.
Awesome.
Phase 2 will include 120 loft-style apartments, as well as community space.
Are there going to be any short-term leasing apartments? I know we have a lot of businesses and corporations that are here that, they might enjoy that.
On the short-term lease options,
Okay.
They own another property just right over there. And when they did the pre-leasing for that, they kept it to 12-month leases.
Okay.
But after about a year of that being open, they did, the demand was there, and
Yeah.
so they started to do 3-month and 6-month leases.
That's fantastic. So the retail restaurants and everything, what kind of offerings are you going to have? Do you know?
Sure. So there's been a big demand in for more boutique retailers, as well as chef-led, locally sourced food options.
Awesome.
And so I think that's what we'll see as the type of tenants in the retail space.
The Deerfield Township would love for, and Cincy Home Team would love for you guys to find us on social media and give us your suggestions on what businesses you would like to see in the community. Well, thank you again, Jim.
Of course,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
Back to the studio.
So this week I want to talk about the best loan product that we have, in my opinion. This loan offers 100% financing on either a purchase or a refinance, no mortgage insurance or PMI, great fixed interest rates, and best of all, we waive all of our lender fees, so you really just have third-party fees like title and appraisal. What program am I talking about? Well, VA, the VA loan program for our veterans. Veterans Day was last week. Perfect time to talk about this great program. It is the best program, as it should be, to take care of all of our great veterans out there. If you take a look at the chart here, you'll notice that in the state of Ohio, we had over a 10% increase in utilization of this great program last year. And while that's certainly a good start, we have a long way to go. There are over 790,000 veterans, either active or retired military personnel in the state of Ohio, but yet we only did just over 10,000 VA purchases last year. So we have a lot of room to go here and a room to grow for this great program. So if you could do myself and all of our veterans a favor and share this video, get the word out, talk about what a great program this is, even though it's underutilized, and let's spread the word. This has been Ryan Kiefer with Prime Lending and your Mortgage Minute.
Cyber fraud, why even rob a bank anymore? Hijacking email accounts, even real estate accounts like .loop are being hacked into these days.
When you're creating a password, it's vital to not use simple words that can be figured out easily. Hackers are putting a program to work to actually figure out your password and running it until they've got the answer. Don't use words. Use a mixture of upper and lowercase letters and also symbols.
Really need to get away from the fun passwords like your dog's name, Fluffy 2018. We'll have some more cyber fraud tips next week. We're Ken and Tina Martin with Priority National Title, and that is your title tip of this week.
Well, that's it for this episode of The American Dream. I don't know how I ended up in the studio when Craig and Tawny got to ride that thing out in Rancho Santa Fe. Either way, if you have a property that you think would be perfect for The American Dream, or you have a story that you think that we should shoot out all over the nation, we would love to hear from you. And until the next episode, I hope you keep dreaming, and thanks for stopping by.
Till you come back home.